Mhm.
Okay. Whether it makes you laugh, cry, scream, or fly, there's a song for every emotion. We're Mike and Priya, and we talk about the songs that make up the soundtrack to your life. Because life is in the lyrics.
Well, little listeners, oh, glorious day. We would be terrible fans if we didn't send out a huge congrats to our favorite English teacher and our fave gym teacher who got engaged today.
Who?
Oh,
Who's
gosh.
that?
You don't know?
No.
Have you been under a rock all day? Yes, we are, of course, talking about Taylor and
Tay-Tay.
Travis.
Tay-Tay and Travis.
Oh, happy
Yes.
day.
Yeah.
My goddaughter messaged me and she tried to FaceTime me, but I was in the car and I didn't see
Right.
the message. She was like, Auntie Priya, oh my God.
Right.
And then
right.
we had a very long discussion about it. She was very happy for them.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Is this a shocker for you?
What, that they got engaged?
Mm-hmm.
No. I think it's actually, I think everybody was waiting for it.
Yeah.
Was it a shock to you?
No.
Nah.
I mean, that's, great. That's glad, happy for them. And congratulations to them. And I'm hoping that they have a lovely, happy life together. That's wonderful.
Yes, you sound thrilled.
Well, no, it's just kind of like, okay.
I know.
That's great.
Exactly.
What did come to mind
Mm-hmm.
was, I wonder how this is going to impact any
potential
music that she creates.
Well, I think this album's already been created, but Maya was wondering about the tour, if it would affect.
Assuming
a
she goes on a
potential
tour.
tour.
She hasn't even announced a tour.
Well-
People getting worked up about going to see a
The
tour.
album hasn't come out. The album has to come out, and then the tour will be announced. I mean, it's going to be announced. I did think it was very cool, very cute, though. Just the way that she acknowledged, like, I didn't realize that he had first tried to he had talked about her on his podcast with his brother before they started dating. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that. So she said, this podcast has done a lot for me. I owe a lot to this podcast. It got me a boyfriend ever since Travis decided to use it as his personal dating app about 2 years ago. I was like, if this guy isn't crazy, which is a big if, this is sort of what I've been writing songs about wanting to happen to me since I was a teenager. I think it's really sweet. They're sweet.
Yeah. Well, I had a bit of an exchange with my sister, and I sent her the link to the Instagram post, and then she said, "That's so weird. I just saw this on my Facebook." And my response to that was, "Could this be end of all the endings? Her broken heart has mended. Life with
Oh.
Travis she'll be spending."
Oh, that's sweet.
And my sister said, "Oh, funny, clever."
That was very nice. I like that you pulled that into music.
Yeah, one of her songs. And it did, like, the first thing I thought was, what will be the inspiration for the content for her next creative outlets or
Well-
her creative music?
I mean, like we said, that her new album hasn't even come out. Give the girl a break.
Oh, she's probably got 4 or 5
probably
albums in
does.
the whatever.
Who are we kidding?
Anyways, congrats, Taylor, Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Very happy for you.
Yeah.
I wonder how soon she'll get pregnant if she does get pregnant.
Do you think she's going to have kids?
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought I read in a more recent interview, like within the past few years, that she had decided she didn't want kids. But I
I
could,
don't know.
gosh, let me not say that if that's not right.
God,
Don't
the
jump down
Swifties
my
will be-
throat, Swifties. I may have just read it wrong or
But you
interpreted
know,
it wrong.
it is kind of interesting though, because my head went to, oh, I wonder how long it'll be before she gets pregnant, assuming
Right.
that was something A, that she
Right.
wanted, and B, that was gonna happen. Like it's kind of like a default thinking,
Yeah.
which is not fair. So if
I
I've
feel
offended
like-
anybody, I apologize.
I have wondered about that because, like, okay, she's what, 35, 36, right? If she has a kid, that's going to take her out of commission from touring for like 3 years, right? Let's say maybe 2 if she's really gung ho, but 3 years. And I don't know. Can you really go back to touring the way she tours when you've got a toddler at home?
Why are people so obsessed with her touring?
Oh, I mean, I think she
She
loves it.
she just did like 2 years, two and a
Yeah.
half years of like epic touring.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to tour again.
She never
could
has
just
to
she
tour.
could just create music and
Faux show.
faux show.
But this is Taylor.
All right. Well,
anyways,
maybe
okay.
she will, maybe she won't, but whatever. Okay.
We
well,
will
yeah.
see.
Congrats, Tay Tay.
Yes.
Well, a little segue
Mm-hmm.
with the pregnancy question,
Okay.
because our neighbors
Hmm.
that we share a wall with,
Yes.
they've been expecting,
Yes.
and on Saturday morning at
Mhm.
3:30 in the morning,
Ooh.
her water broke, and so
How do you know the exact time?
because I saw her dad and I talked with him.
Okay.
And so I've been on tenterhooks waiting for them to come back.
What's a tinterhook?
I don't know, but it's a term I've heard.
Okay.
And so I could see that
A
the
tinder hook I would get.
a Tinder hook up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I noticed that their car is back, which means they're back from the hospital. And I'm wondering,
Yeah.
what's the appropriate amount of time before you send a message to say congratulations, even though you don't know at all how the birth went?
I mean, I suppose you could leave flowers or something on their doorstep. Like, I don't know. And just say,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one. Because you're saying she went into the hospital Saturday, but she could have just had a very long labor, right?
Yeah, totally.
So
Yeah.
all could be totally well because we're at Tuesday now. So, and you're saying they just got home.
I'm assuming they got home today because I saw the
Because
car.
you didn't
It
see the
wasn't
car
there
before.
this morning.
Right. So 3 days in the hospital.
It's kind of like what's an appropriate amount of time, and is it even my business to
Well, you're the neighbor and
say congratulations before they've actually said
we
we
have.
wanted to let you know we have a
Yeah.
baby.
That's true. I guess you could just wait for them.
Yeah.
And then you could say, I was dying to say
Yeah.
congratulations.
Well, I've also made them a quilt.
Oh,
Yes.
you are the quilt maker.
Yeah. So I made a baby quilt for them.
Oh, that's so
Mhm.
nice.
So there's some baby news right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how about you? What's been going on with you in the last couple of days? Because
Okay.
it's been a whole,
It's been a
2.5 days.
Yeah. Okay. So last time I alluded to my car insurance issue.
Oh, yes.
All right. So about a year and a half ago,
Uh-huh.
I got a ticket for being
Oh.
on my phone in the car. And it's
Yeah.
not like I was like, I don't know what I was doing, but I was probably, sometimes I'm trying to put an album on if I
Uh-huh.
can't find it, or plug in directions if stupid Google doesn't understand what I'm saying.
Damn you, Siri.
Damn you, Siri. She got me in so much trouble. So I got a ticket in the mail.
Oh, how much? Oh, in the mail? So you didn't get stopped by a cop or anything?
No, I didn't get stopped by a cop.
So this
I-
was on a camera?
I guess so. Yeah.
Huh.
And I got a ticket. I think it was like $500. Actually, I think it was maybe more. But then I went to, not court, but they do a Zoom call, right?
Right.
And so I get on the Zoom call and I said, listen, it's totally my wrong. I don't deny that.
Mhm.
I just am worried that it's going to take points off my record.
Mhm.
And they're like, no, we won't take any points off. And then they gave me a reduced fine of something like $400 or $500. So I think the original fine was close to double that.
Oh, wow.
Maybe.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then I went on my not so merry way. That was about a year ago.
Mhm.
So in July, actually, I guess while you were away, so maybe in August, early August, my insurance guy calls me up and he's like, actually, he messaged me. He's like, Priya, just wanted to check that and make sure that you knew that your auto insurance was canceled. Insurance was canceled.
What?
And I'm like reading this email. I'm thinking, what are you talking about? So I call him right away and I said, I didn't cancel the insurance. So
Right.
why is it canceled? And he goes, oh, well, you had a ticket for being on your phone. And I said, yes. And I paid that ticket. And he said, yeah, well, now your insurance has been canceled. And I said, but when I was on the call with the lawyer or whatever, the Crown, they told me, okay, this is your penalty that you have to pay, that you're
Right.
fine, and there will be no points taken off. And he said, yeah, well, they don't usually tell you that your insurance is going to be canceled, but it's a one and done policy.
What?
You get one ticket for being on your phone and your car insurance gets canceled. I said, even though I have a spotless record, I've been in
What?
no crashes.
Yeah.
I've had some parking tickets, but not like
Right.
crazy tickets for reckless driving or anything like that. I said, even though my record is clean, he goes, yeah, it doesn't matter. That's the rule.
Wow.
And I said, okay, well,
What do I do now?
now what? And he said, well, now you're in a high risk category. So normal insurance companies won't insure you.
Oh my God.
So you will have to go to one of the high risk insurers, of which there are only a handful.
They probably cost an arm and a leg.
And I was like, okay, what is this going to cost me? How much more is this going to cost me? He said, it might be like 30 to 40% more than you're paying right now. And I thought, fuck's sakes, are you kidding me? So I hear from him in like 2 hours. He says, okay, I've got a couple of quotes for you. So I think I was paying something like $180 a month, something like that. And he says, the two quotes I have for you are $350 a month and $428 or something a month. I was like, are you kidding me? I make one stupid mistake.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to have to pay 2 or 3 times the amount on my insurance. Anyways, he managed to get it down. So I'm only paying something like $220. It's only like another $75 more, but still.
But even that times 12 is a lot of money.
It's more than $1,000 than I'm paying right now. And then I asked him, how long is this? Am I going to be paying this rate? He said 3 years. This ticket will be on your policy, your record for 3 years.
Holy crap.
Okay, so let me tell you why that makes me especially infuriated.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure all of the people who live in the Toronto area have heard about this 18-year-old reckless driver who hit Doug Ford's car.
Oh, I didn't know this.
You didn't hear this?
No.
So like in early July or something, he hit Doug Ford's car. He got his license taken away. Got it back within 30 days. Then he hit another car, killed the driver. With the driver's 2 or 3 girls in the back and his wife who has terminal cancer.
Oh, jeez.
So now this woman is taking care of those kids and she's terminal. She doesn't even know how long she has. This guy was allowed back on the streets and, all these people who drunk driving and whatever still get their licenses back. And I'm thinking, what is wrong with this system? That I make one stupid mistake and I will never look at my phone again in the car. Absolutely. It was my fault. But the penalties do not seem to be balanced here.
Yeah.
That guy got his license back within 30 days.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it makes me really mad every time I think about it.
Yeah.
But also grateful for my insurance guy, my broker, who managed to get that down from $425 to like half of that.
Jeez.
Because what would I have done? I would have had no choice.
No, because you're dependent on your car as well.
I am.
You need your car for
I need my car.
what you do for work.
It's
and
very
care
annoying.
For your mother. Yeah.
Yeah, to care for my mom, I have to go see her 2-3 times a week, and I need a car for that.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. So
Serenity now.
Is this your way of saying to me that when you cancel your gym membership, the money that
why
you
do we have to go
save
back to that?
is not going?
Why do we have to go back to that?
That money
I am
is
not canceling that.
It's not coming.
I'm not canceling that. I have every intention of using it. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Can I tell you about another little?
Yeah, sure. As we're,
Yeah, because
Sharon.
this is going to be a slight overshare.
Okay.
I'm going to say.
Well, I think our listeners will be absolutely
they're gonna
shocked
love it.
because they
Never heard
don't
me
expect
overshare.
it.
It's not sexual. Sort of.
Okay.
Sexual. Okay. So I've been having ongoing sleep issues, as you know. And part of the thing is that I have to get up and pee in the middle of the night, like 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
And I have told my doctor in the past, I don't drink water. Like I am a very bad water drinker and I barely drink in the evening. So how am I peeing so much liquid throughout the night? So I had gone to the walk-in clinic for my stupid eye twitch a few weekends ago.
Okay.
And he said, well, maybe we need to see if there's anything structurally wrong with your uterus or your bladder. I'm like,
okay, time out. 1 second. You just referenced going
eye
to the
twitch?
walk-in for
Yeah.
your eye twitch.
Yeah.
We haven't heard that story. You're gonna
Nobody
have to.
cares about
We're
that
gonna
one.
share that on a different episode.
Like nobody cares. It's just I had this twitch that was going for like 6 weeks. It would just come and go and come and go. And it's have you ever had an eye twitch?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they are so annoying.
Yeah.
And it just feels so weird.
Okay,
Anyway,
that
so
was
I
a
went
boring
in for
story. Go
that.
on.
I went in for that. And then he ends up sending me home with a lab requisition form for an ultrasound.
Okay.
So, okay, today I go for my ultrasound. I sign in and she goes, okay, can you please sign that form? And I'm like, all right. So I look at it and at the top it says transvaginal ultrasound release form. I'm like,
What?
what the fuck is a transvaginal ultrasound? I'm just expecting them to throw some lube on my stomach.
Yeah.
That's happened before. And, take some photos. So she does that, but apparently they have to stick a wand up
Oh.
and take
okay.
pictures on the inside.
Right.
So it's telling you that they will have to insert this wand.
Right.
If you feel more comfortable doing it yourself, let the technician know. And there might be some discomfort as they move it around inside you to take photos from different angles. And I just thought, okay, this is strange, but I'm lying down and she does the regular ultrasound. And then she pulls out this.
Oh, so wait a minute. You're lying down,
Yes.
legs up, and they're asking you to sign a form?
No. I signed the form before I got in there.
Oh, okay.
Then I have my gown on and I'm lying down on the bed and she pulls it up and, I'm completely naked down below. She's Korean, this woman. She's like, hi, my name is Amy. And she's got a nice, lovely Korean accent. She's like very friendly. She goes, okay, I'm going to put gel on you now. This is not a Korean accent, but, and she's very friendly. I'm like, yep. She's, you okay? You okay? She keeps asking me, you okay? Yep. But I'm not okay that my hoo-ha is right out there. She pulls this like kind of a towel thing and sort of puts it to cover me, but it's not really. It keeps falling off. She does the ultrasound on top of my belly. And then she pulls out this wand. And I swear to God, this wand is it's like a ruler size.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, but it's thin. And she says, now we're going to put this inside you, okay? And I said, yeah, okay. And she goes, I'm going to be very gentle. I'll go very slow. If it hurts or if you want me to stop, you just say so. And I said, okay. I said, can I put it inside myself? She goes, yeah, sure. So she just holds it there and then I put it inside me.
Okay.
And I mean, it's fine because it's not that big, right? But I'm like, how far in are you going to put that? Like, are you taking pics of my cervix or my lungs? What's going on? And then it's in there for probably like 2 minutes going at different angles. And I'm like, interesting. Oh, that's an angle I haven't tried before. And she goes, okay, we're all done. I'm going to pull it out very slowly now, okay? Very slowly. And I said, yep, okay. And then she pulls it out and like, it just, because of the lube that they put on top, it just makes like a little
pop
sound as it comes out.
Oh my God.
I'm like, okay. And she goes, okay, now you can go pee again. We're all done. I said, okay, thanks. And I'm just standing there wiping all this disgusting lube off of me. I don't know if anybody out there that's listening has had a transvaginal ultrasound, but if you haven't, and if you ever do need to, now you know what they're going to do.
Wow.
They're going to stick a very thin, long tube
up your yoo-hoo, as you call it.
Up your hoo-ha.
Wow. So
that was my day today.
That was today?
That was today.
Good God. And you're
Let me have
sitting
a
here
sip of my drink.
smiling
Let
and
me have a
having a
sip of
drink.
Oh, it gave me some, listen.
So when you were like, "Ooh, that feels," there. Oh, where is that? Was that exciting?
No,
or
it was
it's
just like
oh,
because it was quite narrow. It wasn't thick, so it wasn't uncomfortable. It was just weird, them moving it around in different angles. And then I thought, wonder how that angle would work if it was for pleasure.
Huh.
I just was curious.
You said a ruler, so it was flat?
No, I mean the length of it was long.
It was like a
so when she showed it to me, I was just like, I knew there was something going inside me. I didn't think it was going to be like a forearm's length.
Right. Wow, you've had quite the day.
Had quite the day.
Have another drink there, sweetie.
I had a big sip
Do
of
another.
my gin and Dubonnet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I've been violated, Mike. I've been violated.
I got nothing to say.
You're sitting there smiling at me, and I'm like, "What is in your mind?"
No. I'm not sure what to say because that's a lot of
Yeah.
information about a female experience,
Yes.
and
Nothing
it's
you can relate to.
it's one of well,
I want to ask you if you ever had any internal intrusive.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. So at a certain age, and you
Yes.
probably have this, you have to. I don't know. Do you have to get this done?
What?
Maybe not because you don't have prostate, but males need to go and get prostate exams, and
Right.
that's when they stick a camera up your bum.
Oh, I thought they just used fingers.
Nope. Well,
Oh.
yeah, there's like a feeling
Right.
thing, but then depending on what's going on and what's happening in your
Mhm.
life, there's also. And I know somebody who has had a procedure where they had to take a biopsy. Where okay, this is going to be too gross, but
Oh, God.
whatever.
Okay.
They stick something up, and it's got little spikes on it, and it grabs pieces of tissue. Yeah. So, anyways, we'll move on from that.
Move on from that.
But I was going to say that what you've just shared is just another example of how basically women,
Uh-huh.
you carry the burden of so much.
Oy
And
vey.
us males, we just saunter around the world thinking, cry when we have a cold.
Just
and we're
enjoying the patriarchy.
total babies.
Yes.
And you're dealing with
Oh
it
my
all.
God. Thank you for acknowledging that,
I'm
Mike.
sorry that you have to
I
go
also
through
had
that.
a goddamn mammogram a couple of weeks ago. And let me tell you, I don't know if it's easier
Jesus.
or harder to have basically no boobs when you have a mammogram. But I walked away from that, my second one, with all clear. But I was told I have medium to high density boobs. And I was
Huh?
like, I asked my doctor that. I was like,
What does that mean?
what does that mean? And she goes, oh, okay, well, when you have light density boobs, it's easier for the machine to see through all the
Oh,
tissue.
it's because you're so fit. It's all muscle.
It's because of all that gym time I spend.
Exactly. It's
All
all
right.
that gym time.
Okay, well, that's enough of my experiences,
Wow.
folks. I'm sorry if I grossed you out with that, but that's a
No.
fact of life.
You know what? That is life. And this podcast is about life
Yes,
and
the
lyrics.
lyrics.
Were you singing a song while your yoo-hoo was being violated?
I was trying to, she kept saying, relax, relax. And I was like, and I was trying to deep breathe
Yeah.
and just try to, not focus on the fact that I'm completely exposed and there's all this jelly on me. And you know what, like when your stupid hospital gown touches the jelly and then it's just
it's
rubbing
stuck.
against you.
Yeah.
It's just all gross. It was disgusting.
Wow.
But
Okay.
this is life.
All right. Well, let's move on, shall we?
Yes, we should. Let's
Okay.
get on with the show, Mike.
Let's get on with the show.
Okay.
All right.
Care to enlighten our listeners in regards to this week's topic? Because
Yes.
it was something you chose this week.
I chose the theme for this episode because my husband told me he thought it would be a really good idea.
Okay.
We were listening to some music, and I can't even remember what it was now, to be honest. I can't remember. We had the radio on, and we were listening to some music, and I was saying, oh, this totally reminds me. Somebody introduced this to me or something like that. And he said, oh, that would be a great topic idea for your podcast.
Mhm.
Music that was introduced to you by somebody.
Yes.
And so that's how that idea came around. And it really got me thinking about all this different kind of music. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about.
I love this topic and I feel like I had to kind of expand the idea of it from just music that you've been introduced to by other people to just music you've opened yourself up to because you might have been exposed to it from different outlets. Because
okay.
I didn't necessarily I had to spend a lot of time trying to think of music that friends have introduced me to. And I do have some, but then other things kind of came to mind of artists that I sort of discovered from a certain perspective. Yeah, so we'll get into that.
Okay.
But let's start with you.
Okay, well, one of the reasons why I thought that this would be an interesting topic was because then we could talk about the music and then maybe talk about the people that also introduced you.
Yeah, sure.
But then, yeah, I guess we could just go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. Well, when Dawn suggested this topic idea, I was thinking, immediately I was thinking of a couple of people, and it really was back in high school where,
Okay.
I don't know if it was like this for you, but in high school, I feel like that was where I really was exposed to different music, different genres, different artists, and things that I hadn't, that, weren't part
Yeah.
of my, repertoire, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember listening to, God, what was I listening to before high school? I don't even remember. It was so fucking long ago. There was this guy that I went to high school with, and it's kind of funny because, and I think I may have mentioned him before, but he was like this cool jock guy in
Yeah,
high
you have.
school. Yeah. And then we ended up working together and we became friends. And he introduced me to Crowded House.
Oh, okay.
Don't dream
Yeah,
it's over. Hey now.
Hey now,
Hey
hey
now.
now.
I was off tune, but whatever. And so Scott Shepard introduced me to Crowded House. And I remember we went to see them at the Kingswood Theater at Canada's Wonderland. Like this was
Oh,
back in the 80s. Yeah.
wow.
So that was like, mid 80s ish. And then I've talked about this before, Def Leppard, the Hysteria album. My
Yeah.
brother was the one who introduced that because he was into all that kind of glam rock sort of thing. And then during high school, and this really was the early 80s. It was like I went through this phase of kind of like I don't know what it's called, alt pop, I guess, like The
Okay.
Cure,
Yes.
Talk Talk, Thompson Twins, all
The
those
Cult?
sorts of things.
No?
Not, well, the
Depeche
Cult,
Mode?
Depeche Mode. The
Mhm.
Cult was a bit later, I think.
I thought they were
Like
all they were definitely all in my high
all in
school
your, yeah.
area.
So
Era.
So those immediately came to mind for me when I was thinking about this topic idea.
Okay.
But then I really wanted to focus, like what I want to talk about today is one particular artist that I'm like completely obsessed with.
Okay.
And but before we do that, why don't you share some of
Sure.
yours?
Okay. Well, in terms of like artists that I have discovered not through friends,
Mhm.
but this is going to sound maybe weird, and I have talked about this before, but I watch The Voice every season.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I have to say that I have become a fan of many of the coaches whose music I did not really like. I may have listened to it when it was on the radio, but I
Mhm.
didn't really explore on my own. But since watching The Voice, I have become a fan of like a lot of Maroon 5's music, Niall Horan, Nick Jonas, and Chance the Rapper.
Oh.
Yeah, Chance the Rapper actually has a new album out, which is really good.
Mhm.
I really, really,
Really?
really like it. Yeah.
Really?
And what I like about it, and I was thinking about this because I know we've talked about rap before and how we're not really
We have to
the
find
best
someone.
people. We have to find somebody to
We have
talk
to find
about rap with
someone.
us. But what I realize is that I don't dislike rap as a genre. I just gravitate let me put it this way. I like rap that is socially, politically kind of inspired.
Right.
And
Okay.
Chance the Rapper's music is very much like that.
Mm-hmm.
So his songs are very kind of talking about the social, political climate, the racial climate,
Right.
and all of that. And I do find his music to be quite impactful.
We talked about Childish Gambino once.
Yeah.
He's not a rapper, but does he fall in that kind of genre as
Yeah,
well?
I think he would fall into that rapper. He's
Okay.
not, I mean, into that category sort of. He's not a rapper, and he's wrapped up that persona. So that was Childish.
He's not a rapper, but he's wrapped it up.
But that's true. He has he has wrapped up the Childish
Right,
Gambino
yeah.
persona. He doesn't
He
really
doesn't
do
do that
music
anymore.
anymore.
Yeah.
So he's focusing on his acting, directing. But I think he would fall in that because This Is America, which was probably his biggest hit, was definitely very politically and socially motivated. So I would say that the Voice has been very much of a
Influential.
like kind of a place where I find or discover artists, and they're not small artists,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
kind of weird. But in terms of friends, I would say definitely, and we've talked about Conrad before, but he is
Right,
now
yeah.
since he came on this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
we often share
Oh,
country artists
nice.
back and forth. More him to me,
Yeah.
but the Teskey brothers, I really love them. I think you would like them. They're an Australian blues kind of
Okay.
rock band, and they have a very gritty, kind of a Chris Stapleton kind of voice,
Mm-hmm.
gravelly, but it's very bluesy. It's like stuff you'd listen to on a rainy day with some candles lit, or when you're hanging out with, like Dawn on a romantic evening. I think you would really love them. And he has introduced me to a lot of great country artist. So
Mhm.
I'm going to give him a shout out for that.
Shout out to Conrad again.
Again,
2 episodes in a row.
gets a lot.
He gets a lot.
Yeah.
I had mentioned that in high school, I feel like in high school, that was where I was kind of cutting my teeth, so to
Yes.
speak, in terms of figuring out the
Mhm.
music that I, gravitated towards.
Mhm.
When did you start to realize what kind of music you were you gravitated more towards?
I thought we had talked about this, that there was a study or something that came out that said most people's musical tastes are sort of cemented in their high school years.
Oh, maybe we
So
did.
I
Yeah.
think that that also for me is the fact. And even some of the artists you were mentioning, like The Cure and Depeche Mode, I had different friend groups in
Yeah,
high
me too.
school.
Yeah.
So there was definitely sort of that a mod group that introduced me to
Hmm.
those kinds of artists that I really loved. And then there was another group that, do you remember songs like Back to Life,
Oh, yeah.
Back
Yeah.
to Reality? That kind of, what would it be called? Like more R&B or
Yeah,
dance?
kind of
I don't know.
R&B-ish. Yeah.
That so I explored all of those things, and I think definitely high school was when, because you mix with so many different people, you
Hmm.
explore so many different kinds of genres. That said, I don't know when or how I developed an appreciation for like jazz or classical or
Right,
opera.
right. Yeah. Yeah, I think perhaps also in high school, that's when you're kind of formulating your identity.
Hmm.
You're just kind of cementing that a little bit more.
Yeah, and kind of searching for your
Yeah.
identity too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I've mentioned a couple of bands,
Right.
right? But what I really want to talk about, the one artist that I really want to talk about is Carly Rae Jepsen.
Okay, and I did want to give you a shout out
Okay.
because you have turned me on to her.
Ah,
And I, you know, I feel the same way about her as I feel with Sabrina Carpenter.
okay.
Espresso was such a catchy but annoying song for me
Mm-hmm.
that I kind of wrote her off. And I would say Call Me Maybe was the same for me.
Mm.
It was like super catchy, but it was kind of an empty, like lyrically kind of a stupid song. So I didn't really listen to any of her music after that.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, you have made me listen to so many of, she has a lot of bangers, like some
Oh, yeah.
great dance music,
Yep.
which when you listen to Call Me Maybe, I don't think you would think that she would have that quality of dance
Mhm.
music. So I've really enjoyed discovering her music because of
Mm.
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Great.
But are you telling me that somebody introduced her to you?
Yes. And it
Who?
wasn't that long ago, actually. So I also was aware of the Call Me Maybe
Mm-hmm.
phenomenon, right? Like that was a big deal. And I hadn't really paid any attention to her at all. I think she
Mhm.
was on some Canadian Idol show or something like that. And in 2019, and I actually looked up the message exchange.
Okay.
In 2019, on September 14th, to be exact,
Wow.
I went to see her in Toronto. And the reason why is because my friend Will had an extra ticket. His boyfriend couldn't go.
Okay.
And so he just reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you want to go?"
Mm.
And I'm like, I'm happy to go see her. I don't really know her music, but
Right.
whatever. I mean, sure, it'd be fun.
Mhm.
So we went, and I was like, what the hell is going on? How did I miss this boat?
Yeah.
Like, I completely
Oh,
missed
man.
out on this whole Carly Rae Jepsen phenomenon.
Where was the concert?
It was at the Meridian Center, the
Where's
Sony
that?
Center, whatever it's
Okay.
called, down on Front Street.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it wasn't like a huge venue,
Yeah.
but I was in the audience, and he was singing away and having a great time, and the rest of the audience were like obvious diehard
Mm-hmm.
Carly Rae Jepsen fans. And I remember thinking, okay, I don't know any of these songs, but I'm totally feeling the vibe.
Right.
And why? Like, she's an amazing performer,
Yeah,
and her music is very catchy.
it is.
And I'm thinking, how is she not
Bigger.
at like Taylor Swift level
Mhm.
of popularity?
Well, I mean, very few people are at Taylor Swift level, but you're
No,
right.
but
Like, how is she not in
don't
the
forget,
Sabrina Carpenter's, Olivia Rodrigo, like at that level? Like,
this was 2019.
right.
So this was even before the whole,
Right.
billionaire Taylor Swift era,
Yeah.
right? So after that concert, I'm like, okay, I gotta catch up here. So I downloaded a bunch of her albums, and every single album is frigging amazing.
Wow.
Like, honestly, every song is really catchy. It's like they're earworms
But in the best way.
in the best way. Yeah. And so I was totally hooked. After that, I went into this like complete Carly Rae Jepsen absorption to the point where I kind of overdid it.
Okay.
I was like, I need to stop. I
Right.
need to take a pause. And then she came out with a new album.
Okay, well.
And I was like, okay. So I downloaded the album. And of course, I loved it. Right. So
Okay.
I'm like, okay, this artist is amazing. And I can't believe that she's not bigger
Yeah.
than she really is. And she is big. Like, she does have a following.
Right.
But if you go and explore, if you were to Google, why is Carly Rae Jepsen not super popular
Right.
or something along those lines, there's all kinds of stuff written.
Okay. What did they
And-
say?
Well, there's a lot of stuff written about her, but there's also a lot of stuff written about this category of pop artists that are popular, but they're not in the mainstream the way the, Rihanna's and the Katy Perry's and the Taylor Swifts are.
Is she Canadian?
She is Canadian.
Do you think that's part of it?
Maybe, but Justin Bieber's Canadian. And
True,
look at
true.
him.
Yeah.
And one of the articles that I read, they were talking about how, and there's a lot of opinion pieces obviously out there as well, but they were talking about how she had this Call Me Maybe that was a huge hit,
Right.
and she was kind of categorized in this one hit wonder, which we've talked about,
Yes, we have.
one hit wonder category.
Right.
And so it's almost like an industry or I don't know, social construct where once you've been put in this envelope, that's the way you're seen.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's almost like Call Me Maybe is a fun, catchy pop song, but if you listen to her other music, I feel like Call Me Maybe pales in comparison in terms of the sophistication, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, but Call Me Maybe also came out in like 2012 or something
Right.
like that, right? Like,
Do you know
it's
that
really
Justin
old.
Bieber is a big fan of hers?
Yeah.
And they did a duet together?
Well, I guess I didn't know that he's a big fan of hers, but
Yeah.
I do know, I do remember reading that I think she was under Scooter Braun, so she's
Okay.
under same management. And part of, I guess one of his tours or something, she opened for him.
Oh,
that
that's
was one of
cool.
the ways that she
Oh,
was
right,
getting
right.
profile.
Okay.
So yeah. And
yeah.
then he did that whole video with Call Me Maybe. That's why it ended
Right.
up being such a huge hit.
But they did a
Well,
duet
that's not why,
together
but-
called "Beautiful," I think. But what my point is that "Call Me Maybe," it's kind of a standalone in terms of like some of the other music that I've listened to her of hers sounds much more. I don't know what other term to use other than sophisticated.
What
Call
have
Me-
you listened to?
Well, I can't remember the names of them, but like even the ones we were listening to the other day when we were dancing, like those to me seem like worlds apart from Call
Right.
Me Maybe. And I feel like possibly that's part of the issue with why she hasn't gained more notoriety. Like she got lumped into that, she's sort of a cutesy pop kind of one hit wonder princess, but her other music is so good. Like,
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know.
there's so there's a lot written about her, and there was this one piece that I read online. It was called "In Praise of Carly Rae Jepsen, Pop Music's Most Underrated Star," and this.
Are you going to tell us who wrote that?
Yes, so this was written on Medium, the website Medium, and it was written by Adi Dillon, and it was from October 2022. And I love the way this piece starts. Adi says, "Every few years, a momentous occasion brings hipsters, shameless romantics, the gays, and a few other oddballs together to celebrate. That big event? The release of a new Carly Rae Jepsen album.
Okay.
If you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's because most of this revelry happens online in just a few weeks. The only way you're likely to hear about it is if you follow someone who's a fan of hers. Thankfully, Carly fans are easy to spot. They're like vegans. They won't shut up about it and bring it up completely unprompted.
Oh my God.
And so this piece goes on, and she talks about, like, she's obviously a big fan, and she talks about how, like, her view on what makes Carly Rae Jepsen, the thing that she is. And so I read it, and I read a couple of other articles that were written about Carly Rae Jepsen's popularity, and this gap between her being, she's really popular with a particular fan base, but
Right.
she's not mainstream in the way that there's, like,
Yeah.
that kind of super marketability. And there's an opinion that part of where she is in the pop world is also a bit of a badge of honor for the fans. It's like she's popular but not popular enough, and that's what makes her cool.
Right. She still has sort of that indie
Yeah.
credibility.
Yeah, and the lack of commercial ability
Right.
is also an appeal.
Right.
That's of a view. I'm not saying that's my view or anything, but that's a view of some of the opinions that are written about her. But then there was a New York Times article in 2023, and it's called "What Happens When a Pop Star Isn't That Popular?" And it said, pop's middle class enjoys loyal online fan bases. For these artists, pop stardom isn't a commercial category, but a sound, an aesthetic, and an attitude, which goes back to that point about, like, it's cool to be
Right. Not too popular.
too commercial. And in this article, they talk about how they actually have Sabrina Carpenter as one of the artists that is in that category. But again, this article came out in 2023. So
Right before she popped.
so now Sabrina Carpenter is this, fairly
Phenomenon.
bigger, right, than what she was, I guess, in 2023. So yeah, I just find it's that this whole thing is kind of interesting, and without a lot of deep understanding of how the music industry works, I find it fascinating that you can have that kind of talent that has some commercial ability to them, but just can't seem to break out of whatever or break past that boundary that's there. Of course, I'm also assuming that Carly Rae Jepsen is wanting to
get to that next level.
or I don't even know if it's fair to say that next level. Like, there's also an assumption there that all musicians want to be in the
Right.
same kind of commercial ability as the
Right.
Rihannas and the Katy Perrys and the Taylor Swifts. That
Yeah.
may be a false narrative.
Because maybe it's actually, I would love to know this from artists like her, whether she's happy at the level she's at, because there's not that intense scrutiny on her every move, but she still has people who appreciate her music, and she can still tour around the world and have fan bases everywhere she tours.
Yeah.
And so she's fulfilling that artistic, creative desire and, connecting with her fans, but she doesn't have to deal with all the bullshit that comes with extreme fame.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder what it is for, like, what it would be like for her in, like, that level of artist in terms of fame
Yeah.
and what they have to deal with.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because you mentioned Sabrina Carpenter, and you could talk about Chappell Rowan too. Like, her and Sabrina both kind of peaked at around the same time, and then they just blew up. Benson Boone too.
Oh,
2 years ago,
Yeah, but
he was nobody.
Yeah, but he is, like, what's being written. His new album's being totally panned.
Is it?
Oh yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
haven't seen anything. I
The
didn't even know he
reviews
had
were
a new album.
terrible.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's too bad.
Yeah. And I think that's really unfortunate, because I think and we've talked about this before, like, how do these artists create art and also maintain this, probably often unattainable expectation
Yeah.
to be better than their last
Yeah.
big thing?
Oh my God, the pressure.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But he has a couple of new songs on the radio, Mystical, Magical, and I mean, that's a great song.
Yeah, those are off of his new album, and Rolling Stone, like there are quite a lot of reviews that just did not go in
Okay.
his favor. I haven't listened to the record, so
I haven't either.
have
I didn't
no
even know
view,
he had
but
a new one. But I do like that song. I like the other song he has where I'm Here for Someone Else. I think that's a great song too. They're both on the radio right now. So if they're from his new album, then they seem to be doing pretty well.
well, I hope he just continues.
Yeah.
But so with Carly Rae, any views about her?
I mean, I would just say that I don't understand what it is that takes an artist to each next level, because her music is like, the quality of her music, both musically and lyrically,
Mm-hmm.
is really great. Like, her dance tracks are so fun,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't understand why she's not a
Mm-hmm.
bigger artist. And it reminds me of that lyric in one of Taylor's songs where she says something about, we both agree that Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there's just no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I remember reading an article once about the Beyonce phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
And this article was saying the main reason why Beyonce became a phenomenon
Okay.
was because there was a hole that needed to be filled. There was no Whitney Houston.
Okay.
There were no Black female big artists.
Interesting.
And Beyonce happened to be the independent artist at that particular time that was able to fill that hole. So
Okay.
because there wasn't a competition,
She
Beyonce
sort of
became
naturally,
Beyonce.
right.
I have absolutely no opinion on that because honestly, I have no idea whether
Mhm.
that's true or not. Beyonce obviously is a incredibly successful artist. She's a powerhouse. She
Yeah.
has an incredible fan base. I suspect that her fans would probably argue that's not true.
I'm sure they would.
But I bring that up because I also wonder if that's part of the formula about how these musicians that become, big,
Yeah. There's a gap in the industry.
that's part of it, is that there's a gap.
Mhm.
And, perhaps Carly Rae Jepsen's music isn't different enough,
Right.
or it's balancing on that line between being just a little too different that they can't figure out where exactly it falls.
Yeah, I wonder. That's so fascinating that they would talk about that, like gaps. Like, then you just think, well, what are the places for
Yeah.
all these artists? So if I think about some of the big female pop artists, okay, you have Beyonce, so I guess she kind of, because Rihanna's not really making music right now, she sort of, and I'm just saying this not out of my perspective, but I guess she fills that Black female solo pop artist, category.
Genre, yeah.
And then you have Chappell Roan, who sort of fills the maybe Madonna-esque kind of queer
Edgy.
icon kind of category. Sabrina's sort of the really flirty, like, I don't know. And then Olivia Rodrigo is more maybe the Avril Lavigne kind of edgy, kind of really angsty kind of singer.
Is there only room for one,
That's
though?
the thing.
That's weird.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it
I
seems
was
so
thinking
strange.
about businesses and restaurants
Mm-hmm.
and what can impact their success. And it's like you go to some towns and you see restaurants that are all in the same area because that's where people are going.
Right.
So I was thinking, well, how is that different than, artists in particular genres? Like, there's only one artist
Yeah.
that can be successful, just like there's only one restaurant that can be successful? Or
To take your analogy, it's like if you go to Greek town,
Mhm.
there's many Greek restaurants.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are very popular. Some are less popular, but many of them are
Yeah.
very popular. In Little India, the same. Like,
Yeah.
you'll
yeah.
have the ones that are super popular, and then you'll have the ones that are kind of like neighborhoody joints.
Yeah.
It has a really cool metaphor or
Mhm.
whatever for that. But
Well, I thought that I was a massive fan of
Okay.
Carly Rae Jepsen since 2019
Right.
when I went into my
I
deep
mean, that's
dive.
6 years.
Yeah, I thought it was huge.
Yeah.
And then as I was preparing for this, because as I was thinking about this episode, and I was thinking, yeah, I definitely want to talk about her because she was introduced to me, right? Turns out there's a whole lot of shit that I did not know about Carly Rae Jepsen.
Okay, like what?
For example, the album Emotion that came out that was like critically acclaimed.
Mm-hmm.
It was like critically, it was really held at a high regard.
Okay.
It was like an amazing album. It didn't do as well commercially as, I guess, in terms of sales. I don't know what they measure these things on, but
Right.
a lot of articles said that I read recently said that it was a flop. One of the reasons why a lot of articles are out right now about this album Emotion is because it's the 10th anniversary this year of when that album was released.
Wow. Okay.
So it was released in June 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And Carly Rae Jepsen is doing a major promotion about the 10th anniversary right now.
Okay.
And there's all these articles being written about the 10th anniversary. And she actually is going to also be releasing some songs from the vault.
Oh.
Yes. So
Okay.
in October, she did some teasing on Instagram. And and she's been doing some live performances like about the album
That's
in
exciting.
LA.
Yeah.
And so there's some vault songs that are going to be released in October.
Interesting. Okay.
The other thing I learned is that
Mm-hmm.
there is a B-side album for Emotion. So one of the things that Carly Rae Jepsen does is she releases an album and then she releases a B-sides album, a whole separate album with other songs.
Okay.
And I did pick up on that in 2019 when I downloaded her album Dedicated.
Okay.
I saw, there's a dedicated side B. So I downloaded them both. Both albums are amazing. Oh my God, there's so many great songs. So as I was doing research for this episode, I'm like, Emotion, what is this? There's an Emotion side B. So of course I downloaded that.
Uh-huh.
And I've just like, if you could see me in the middle of a field in the morning at
Right.
6 o'clock in the morning when I'm playing Frisbee with my dog. Yes, Riva's off leash. I know by law, not supposed to.
We are not doing that.
We're-
I love that line.
yeah. I have got Carly B-sides jamming in my ears and I am dancing and singing as I'm
love
throwing
it.
the Frisbee.
Well, maybe she will do a 10th anniversary tour.
I hope she does. I
I
have
see
seen
a lot
her
of people
once.
on her Insta asking for it.
I would totally do. I would totally go. And we would have to go and see
Yeah,
her.
I would love to see her.
Yeah. I am so happy that Will introduced me to Carly Rae Jepsen because I think she is one of the artists that I absolutely am so happy to have in my catalog of music that I like to listen to.
Would you say she's like your top 10, top 5?
Oh, totally. Yeah, she's
Wow.
in my top 5 for sure.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's high praise.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna continue to explore her music.
Mm-hmm.
And I do hope that she will do a tour because I'd love to see her
Yeah.
live. Now
Yeah.
that you've said she's so good live too, because it's not necessarily true for all artists.
No.
Amazing.
All right. Well, I totally commandeered this episode
love
because
it.
I wanted to talk about Carly.
I'm glad you did because I was going to bring her up as one of the people you've introduced me to.
Yay.
And I'm happy. So you're passing it, you're paying it forward.
Right. Yes.
And I'm going to try and pay some Carly love forward too.
Okay, great. All right, little listeners, thank you for listening. If you have any thoughts about Carly Rae Jepsen,
Yeah.
or if you want to share with us any artists or musicians or music that was introduced to you, you can do that.
By sliding into our DMs at The Little Podcast, that's LIITL podcast,
That's right.
or on Gmail email. I keep saying
Yeah.
Gmail, but email at lifeisinthelyrics@gmail.com.
Yeah,
I got that right both times.
you did.
Woohoo!
Woohoo. All right, little listeners, thanks for listening. And you will hear. All right, little listeners, thanks for listening. And you will hear from us next Wednesday.
Week.